rest of the team, while on bottom lane, that Snowball's going to keep chasing up Mumianda. He doesn't have mana. The TP out in Universe. Actually caught on the other side of the tree line. Still will get there for the Walrus Punch. Has to chain away and do this the hard way. The shards will lock him in, but again the Timber Chain onto the other side. Universe with a Blink Dagger of his own. Body blocking up the Timber Saw. Another chain away, but Snowball as well as shards back off cooldown. But they're in range of the tier 2 tower, while Swindamelons is actually dying to Sumail. Spirit jumped in, Side of Fist in 1 second time. That might almost be enough. Jumping around to the Warcry will arrive in for Sven. The Stormbolt as well, but once again, Blink Dagger disjoining every stun the Complexity try and throw out.
He is. You know what kind of game it is when Ember is soloing your Dragon Knight. That is not good.
It's a rough game. It's a rough game. And this tier 2 tower also, days will be numbered. But even the pushdown for EG is getting stronger. Removing 7 armor from these buildings whenever Sumail connects.
And you can imagine Fear might be thinking of Axe as his next item in this game as well. Has the BKB as well as mech and drums, so very utility.
Unless they try and counter the full armor and goes into something like an Assault Cuirass.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. They need an AC as well. The question is what hero gets it. It could be Fear. They could technically get it on Sumail. I think that would be a bad choice. Tusker is not the worst either, but he's very far away. So yeah, I would agree. I think AC is better than Aghanim this game for the Razor. Although that obviously also applies minus armor, but it's way less reliable and it's not for all the heroes at once.
Sumail is going to go for the damage. It's Crystallis now. Well, there's 28 minutes. I said it was meant to pick up Crystallis, but with a Desolator to boot too. And there's that Blink Dagger over on Sven. So Complexity, they really have to try and find some openings. There is an observable just watching Fear farming right now. And Mumianda will arrive, but it's a little bit too late. The rest of EG grouping up together. They might try and retake their jungle away from the Complexity players. At the same time, I'm seeing Sumail jump down to a Spirit. He's just heading down south. He runs into the Radiant jungle to find more farm. And Complexity, they're being worked across one side of the map to the other. They want to find initiations, but they can't find EG.
They're just struggling to find openings right now. It's what they need. I think fighting is what Complexity have to resort to because their Sven is as far behind as he is. This hero does not play well from this kind of deficit. He has 74 CS at minute 30 because they chose to safely in the Timber. In comparison, the Razor on the other side, 200 CS on Fear. And AUI, we haven't talked so much about him so far, I think, but he is slowly just climbing up. 106 CS on him, Solar Crest 1800. He could start looking at a Radiance if he wanted to take it really late.
Oh, they found someone. Swindamelons. Snowball's coming in, and again Sumail right there at the right time, and it will be the Ember Spirit to take the kill on the DK. Now pushing him up to 15 kills, 6 assists for his 1 death on Sumail.
This is a very good play. Oh, there's a ward. Okay. This could have been a very good play for EG, but the ward saves Fly here. I think Fly was expecting they would start pushing down mid. Sumail was still showing in the mid lane there, but they made a very quick rotation with both CM and the Tusk. Still looking for Fly here, by the way, but he is a goner.
See how confident EG are when they start stacking the Radiant Ancients for Sumail to fight. There's just nowhere on this map that's safe for Complexity to move unless they're together as 5. And even then I would question it. Because the closer they group up together, the more powerful Sumail becomes. They start their defensive warding. So they can see when EG try and force, like, if they're just trying to attack from the side, when they attack into the tier 2 tower, then Complexity will get some vision on that. But how do you counter-initiate this Ember Spirit? If you can't Stormbolt him because you're going to blink or Spirit away, you Light Strike Array with a Yule Scepter seems to be optimistic at best.
Their only engage is Blink Stun from Dragon Knight.
That's it. It's
the only thing they can really rely on right here. They have to rely on that or catching Sumail by surprise. So if he's not looking, getting...
Oh, the double! The double over on Fly as well as Z-Freak. It was a blink into a Sleight of Fist steering chain. He caught both of them, and now Z-Freak tries to run away too. More Spirit jump down for Sumail. Let him have the hit. It's a double kill for Ember Spirit. They're just feeding. They're feeding the fire that is Sumail.
That was really interesting because you could see the immediate thought process of Universe as he snowballed in there. So he wanted to go for a Walrus Punch on the Dazzle and just kill him. And then he realizes, wait, there's Grave on the Lina. She's porting out. If I just move over and punch her, we can easily chase down with our Ember Spirit. I think a lot of players in that situation would just be like, oh, great, there's Grave on Lina. Let me just kill the other hero with Walrus Punch. But instead, he actually secures them 2 kills by switching his target. Very well played there. Good detail from Universe.
Smart play by EG, and now Complexity. Their base being attacked. Winter Melons, the snowball comes in. It's just going to be Universe in that. Meanwhile, up on top lane, the God Strength was triggered by Sven to try and bring down their tier 2 tower, but that's the trade-off, and you've just given up 1, your DK, and 2, your ultimate. It will not be available for this fight, which EG are forcing. Another Sleight of Fist, a Searing Chain, Z-Freak dropping by half his life, and even more of his armor.
Oh, PPD trying for an aggressive 4-step there, but Moon Meander does turn away.
He's trying to keep his back for the rest of EG.
It's still crazy, right? Like they have a team with so much armor, but Sumail is just so far ahead that it's
just jump in.
Look at this damage he can output.
With 1 hit, he removed half of the life of Sven. I don't think he wants to turn on that Mask of Madness. It's almost suicide underneath this Ember Spirit.
It's gonna Complexity are gonna have to try to go for a smoke gank and find Sumail again if they can.
We have Aghanim Scepter. We have the Aghanims up for the Timbersaw. So double Chakrams to try and defend the high ground of Complexity. But EG don't really care. Roshan's going to spawn up in roughly 30 seconds from now. So they'll go in, they'll take it. And even, like, you could give this to what? Razor? I mean, he's not even coming close to dying right now. You could potentially give it to Sumail because he's a little bit of a glass cannon, but Complexity also haven't really come close to killing him off.
I would definitely give it to Sumail. It gives them a lot more flexibility in the fights with how they can engage. They'll be able to open up very aggressively, set up for a different kind of team fight. And even should he die after with the Aegis, as long as he just gets a fire ring now, he can even buy back and port right back. Or never mind, he can.
Moving hand up. Fia.
He's a good boots of travel carrier. So
moving up after him. Still more stuns available. There goes your Walrus Punch, but Timber Chain can just be used right now to get away. The double Chakrams are down, and Timbersaw frostbitten, and then also the CM ulti. They'll force a denial out with the Bloodstone. But there's your Aghanim Scepter we're talking about over on Razor. The push power is now real for EG, if it wasn't real before. Where is Swindermelon going? He's got the weave off. And it's negative armor on Ember. He's actually at negative 20 right now. But even then, killing off this Ember is next to impossible. Sven is now at the point where he just has to try and creep skip the top lane to add some level of pressure for EG to look behind them and worry about what's coming. Fear won't get there in time. Sven will be able to TP out, but on bottom lane, Swindermelons is actually Sumail that could basically do this solo. Leaves a defensive spirit, but he's got help. The Tuskar's there, Universe. There's your defensive spirit jump out. It was on purpose to bait Complexity to come out further. Universe actually not able to hit fly with that snowball because of the Yule Scepter, but the Stormball connects with Laguna Blade. They get the kill on Sumail. Fear will stand its ground, but he's draining a lot of damage away from that DK, looking to inflict it into the rest of Complexity. They just keep fighting with the Chakrams down. Moomiander now frostbitten up. He can't go anywhere until he Timber Chains forward. The Glimmercape buying space for Fear just to keep running out here as Universe back to the fray. So is Sumail right in the front line. Z-Freak, perfect Shadow Grave, keeping himself alive. But Sumail, he's got Sleight of Fist up as well as Searing Chain. He'll look for the double. He only gets the one that's over on the Dragon Knight, but the damage should be enough to kill him off before the TP. In fact, they just ensnare him and then bring him down. The Snowball chasing up Moomiander, the sole survivor of Complexity. And even then, he may not be that for long. No, he gets back into the base. That the creep wave's coming in and EG will look to bottom racks.
Look at the health of EG's heroes and the fact that Sumail bought back. That fight was actually fairly close. They're 25,000 gold behind. And 25,000 experience. And their lineup can still put up this kind of fight. This is the Timbersaw in action against the Dire lineup with the Aghanim Scepter pickup. He's doing so much damage here. The Sven actually got to attack a little bit in that fight as well, but they're flat. They're simply just too far behind. Imagine that kind of fight on even footing. It's an easy 5-0 for Complexity. Just run them over there. They will never die with their heroes. But EG, they built themselves such a big lead with a great early game that, unfortunately, in my opinion, we don't get to see the real potential of Complexity's draft that I absolutely love in this case.
It had a lot to work with, but
it had so much potential, but you need the execution too, or else it's just not going to cut it.
EG, they fall back. They've done it perfectly, and now they take Roshan. They'll give Ember Spirit the Aegis Immortal as he'll drop now. So you have an Ember Spirit at level 20, 22, 36 minutes in, having a terrific time. And they look for the openings. Complexity smoked up. PPD's the close one, but he's in an invis room. They didn't see him. They see Sumail, but the jump is still going to be real. Sumail, the Song of the Siren, the last attack! The last attack blows the Aegis.
Time that happened?
It's up there, but then the icy shards locking in for Complexity players. Samael, they load it up him up, but they bring him down. That's with the dieback. Complexity, this is their moment. But how much of a moment have they got? They haven't lost anyone. PPD, the only one bear off. But Mumianda with the chakrams, he's slowing him down. The Stormbolt will keep PPD back for now. And Dragon, he's back in again after Fear. But again, the load assault. What have they got? Fear staying alive. They Glimmer Cape him as well. They're also low. City Free, they still keep fighting. Universe on the front lines doing it to Tuskar. It's a triple kill over for Fear. They catch up to Mumianda. Universe will take it. It's a team wipe. That could almost be the game right now with EG wiping Complexity out. They dealt with the Ember Spirit, but EG, they have a 5-man roster.
That was an incredible snowball in the end by Universe. If he doesn't get that one out, I think the fight just goes the exact opposite way, and Complexity could have cleaned up multiple heroes there, but in the clutch, EG are so good at these, like all these micro plays with like Glimmer Capes, Force Staffs, Lotus Orb. Here again, the snowball from Universe making a really big difference. This is 2 lanes of racks. I don't think Complexity has any chance of holding this. Push very, very fast here with Fear.
Fly forced staffed aggressively in by PPD. The Shallow Grave will keep him alive for the moment. He has Laguna Blade now. Swindelmel's to the front lines. You've still got Laguna Blade. Fire hasn't gotten knocked yet. He's just trying to get away from the Dark Creep Wave while Swindelmel's is dying. The Chakrams can't buy enough space from Mumianda. But Universe so low as they pull in the double Chakrams. The Sentry Ward's down so they can keep tabs on the Tuskar. And EG will now back up. They do significant damage to the melee ranks, which will regenerate.
Complexity do hold it, but it costs them a Dragon Knight buyback. Dieback, actually. He died immediately after there. Very aggressive TP from Swindle. He might have felt like he had to sacrifice himself there to keep the barracks alive, and to be honest, it might actually be worth it at this point. I think the focus